up, everybody? My name is Vic, and this is KND Featuring. Welcome to the show. So, what kind of suggestion or advice would you give them, in order to prepare themselves externally, internally, or, the mindset thing, or whatever?
Mindset is important.
Yeah, or the language too.
Yeah. Look, you always hear like positive mindset versus a negative mindset, and you should always have a positive mindset, right? But I think it needs to go beyond having a positive mindset. You need to have a challenging mindset. Like you need to challenge yourself. Because you know what? Yes, people go abroad to learn a language, but I also have parents tell me เนี่ยส่งไปแล้วกลับมาไม่เห็นได้อะไรเลยเพราะทำไมรู้ป่ะไปเกาะแต่สังคมไทย safety net คนไทย so that's still in your comfort zone.
Right.
Right?
Even though it seems like you're out of your comfort zone, but you still seek another comfort zone within the wilderness out there.
Right.
Right.
And that's not the right approach to take because you're not learning anything new. You're just hanging with the same sort of like culture, but in a different land, in a new land. So what you need to do is to pack your bag, to go and tell yourself that you're ready for new adventures, not the same thing. You're ready to explore. You're ready to bring out your resources within you, meaning your language skills and your social skills, and you are going to go and expand those skills. You're going to go to for further self-development, so you go, you find your comfort zone, and then you go outside your comfort zone as well. I think that's very, very important. I'm lucky and that I'm an extrovert. I only have one Thai friend there, right? And she's always calling me Miss Congeniality. Because wherever I go, I'm chatting to people. Hi, where do you come from? Oh, Egypt, wow, how fascinating. อะไรอย่างเงี้ยค่ะ And where do your kids go to school? แล้วก็จะแบบว่าyou need to mingle. You need to meet people. You need to talk to them because I think that's how you learn more and that's how you develop more through interaction with other people. And don't just go shopping. Go to the museums, go to the libraries, go to the local pubs, go to the local cafes, and take in their culture.
So when we're talking about this word itself, self-actualization, do you think it's important for each and every one of us to find that out? Like the answer to the burning question, what are we supposed to do in life?
Everyone should know, because if you know your true self, what are you good at? What were you born specifically for? That will be additional benefit to your life. Okay. Because at least you can design your own life in accordance with your true nature. If you don't know that, it might be pretty difficult because you might have that big questions mark in your mind at all time. Well, am I doing what I can do best? But that's for me. It's a real waste of time. So don't spend a lot of time finding what is your true self. Spend your time, live your life, and finally you can accidentally find your true nature. That really happened to me. For example, for me myself, I once dreamed of becoming a military officer, but finally I can't be one. Okay, because my parents are immigrants from China. I just think that, be it. So I find another route. Yeah? Okay. I want to be a football player.
Okay.
One among the very first Thai person who played in the European League. Finally, physically, I'm not as strong as professional athlete. So it is a no-go for me. And afterwards, I think, I want to be a civil servant in the government sector. I apply to study in the Faculty of Political Science and want to work in the local administration departments or กรมการปกครอง Luckily, in the third year, in the junior year, the university sent all of us to different provinces, at least to observe what the civil servants are doing their duty. And I find out that the imagination that I have towards those jobs are totally opposite to what I had initially in mind. When you are a junior officer, you are simply minor mechanics in those provinces. I don't feel offended. But finally, we have certain imagination, but reality is totally different. Well, I'm in the middle of intersection. Should I go forward? Should I go right? Should I go left? I don't know. Like every one of us. And finally, I end up to be, management in automotive company.
How did that happen?
Accident. After my graduation, I studied in England, and I still didn't know what kind of job should I go. And I only know that, you simply prepare yourself. When you go back, you might be able to find a job. A job means any job. I don't know.
Okay.
Until economic collapse in the year 1998, and I think, I want to join a multinational company. I want to know how people in developed market worked in that environment in multinational companies. I just only had that dream, and that's it. When I came back, economic collapse. Okay, but before that, I came back to Thailand with no working experience. So what shall I do? I simply sent applications to 70 different companies, and finally, I was invited for an interview for 3 of them.
3 out of 70.
3 out of 70.
Wow.
And I end up working as a journalist in Nation Multimedia Group. And I feel pretty bad about my ability because I can't find any job that I think that.
Oh, okay.
But don't get me wrong. At that time, news anchor is not as well respected as it is today.
Okay.
So it doesn't look like a fancy job at all. And I talked to a friend of mine, he's older than me. He said, with whichever job, just do it. And I keep complaining for a couple of weeks before the first day at my first workplace in my life. And I went there and I still complained. Well, I should end up in a much better place. But after a couple of days, accidentally, with my attitude open, because that's the only job that I can do. Okay. I got accepted only one workplace. So I said, I'm surrounded by new challenges, the world that I have never seen before. So why don't I start learning something substantial from the only job that I can secure? This is what I would think. I never dream of becoming a journalist. I never dream of becoming a news anchor. I never dream of getting that, relatively small amount of salary. But that was the only choice that I need to do. So I opened my attitude. And I think, just let's open my mind and go for it. Let's learn anything as much as I can. It could be my asset in the future. I only think that. So I end up with my first job accidentally. And I still work in this field until today.
Yeah. That's
Imagine
amazing.
If at that time I have different attitude and I said, I try to discover my true self. This might not be the job that I like. Do you think that I can work in that job? I might be able to survive, but I might not enjoy the work. And many people surrounding me would see that attitude in me. Luckily, by that time, I told myself, hypnotize yourself with. Pretend as if you liked that job.
Wow.
For a month. Luckily. So I worked in that before I applied, before I'm approached by a car company. And I worked with that company for quite some times.
คือ global mindset ก็คืออย่างที่พี่บิ๊กว่ามันไม่ใช่แค่เราพูดภาษาอังกฤษได้เพราะว่าคนอื่นก็พูดภาษาอังกฤษได้เหมือนกันคนจากประเทศอื่นก็พูดภาษาอังกฤษได้เหมือนกันแล้วอะไรที่จะพาให้เราไปทำงานในเวทีที่มันใหญ่ขึ้นนานาชาติมากขึ้นก็คือเราต้องมี global mindset ตรงนี้ครับก็คือความเข้าใจความ open mind ในเรื่องของ culture ในเรื่องของวิธีคิดต่างๆคือเราต้องพร้อมที่จะเรียนรู้แล้วก็เปิดรับอยู่ตลอดเวลาเราให้มีพื้นฐานความคิดที่ว่ามันไม่มีอะไร absolute มันไม่มีอะไรที่มันผิดหรือถูก 100% มันขึ้นอยู่กับ context ซึ่งในที่นี้มันก็คือ culture ไปอยู่ในวัฒนธรรมหนึ่งทำแบบหนึ่งอาจจะเป็นสิ่งที่ทุกคนเห็นด้วยไปอยู่ในอีก setting หนึ่งมันก็อาจจะเป็นสิ่งที่ไม่ถูกก็ได้ซึ่งความเข้าใจตรงนี้ครับผมเรียกมันว่าเหมือนเป็น global mindset แล้วก็มันจะนำไปสู่ inclusion ของคนที่มันหลากหลายความคิดหลากหลาย background มากขึ้นอย่างที่พี่บิ๊กพูดถึงเมื่อกี้แล้วก็สิ่งนี้แหละคือผมมองนะว่าถ้าเราอยากจะเติบโตแล้วได้ทำงานที่มันสูงขึ้นหรือก้าวหน้าในไม่ว่าจะเป็น manager หรืออะไรก็แล้วแต่เนี่ยมันจะต้องมี element ของสิ่งนี้ครับในตัวอยู่ด้วย
มันสำคัญมากเลยนะ
it's the mindset the mentality the attitude that you have that open-mindedness to accept different opinions different perspectives different cultures I think all of those can be traced back to this global citizen thing คือซึ่งมันจะยิ่งเป็นนอร์มมากขึ้นนะคือผมยังจำได้ว่าตอนที่ผมไป UN แล้วก็มีพี่คนหนึ่งที่เขาไปด้วยแล้วเขาเป็นลูกครึ่งฟิลิปปินส์เขาก็พูดถึงเรื่องนี้เหมือนกันคือผมก็เคยถามว่าคุณรู้สึกเป็นคนฟิลิปปินส์หรือเป็นคนไทยมากกว่ากันแต่เขาคำตอบผมตอนนั้นก็เป็นเรื่องใหม่สำหรับผมเหมือนกันก็คือเขาบอกว่าเขาไม่ได้รู้สึกเป็นแบบไม่ได้ identify ตัวเองกับอะไรเลยแต่ว่ารู้สึกว่าเขาเป็น global citizen มากกว่าคือพอเขามีมุมมองแบบนี้เขาก็คือไม่ได้ยึดติดอยู่กับแนวคิดของฝั่งใดฝั่งหนึ่งทั้งพ่อทั้งแม่เขาที่มาจากคนละประเทศอะไรเงี้ยแล้วมันก็จะได้สามารถมองเห็นโอกาสมากขึ้นว่าเฮ้ยเราอาจจะเคยคิดว่าเรื่องนี้มันไม่เกี่ยวกับเราเพราะอันนี้มันโอ้โห global issue เราจะไปรู้เรื่องทำไมมี activities พวกนี้เราจะไป participate ทำไมแต่พอเราเปลี่ยนมี shift in mindset ตรงเนี้ยมันก็ทำให้เรามองเห็นโอกาสมากขึ้นว่าจริงๆแล้วมันก็เรื่องของเราได้ด้วยเหมือนกันเราไม่จำเป็นที่จะต้องยึดอยู่กับแค่เฉพาะ culture ใด culture หนึ่งอย่างเดียวหรือวิธีคิดใดวิธีคิดหนึ่งอย่างเดียวคือมองตัวเองย้อนกลับไปตอนที่เรา opportunity นี้มันยังไม่ได้ confirm หรืออะไรคือมันไม่ได้ชัดเจนเรารู้แค่ว่าโอเคเราพยายามที่จะใช้โอกาสที่เราได้ตรงนี้ให้มันดีที่สุดเฉยๆซึ่งผมอยากจะเน้นตรงนี้เพราะว่าผมเชื่อว่าตรงนี้มันจะช่วยเปลี่ยนวิธีคิดของใครหลายๆคนที่อาจจะรู้สึกว่าตัวเอง stuck อยู่อาจจะรู้สึกว่าไม่อาจจะขาด encouragement หรือว่ามันมองไม่เห็นแต่เชื่อเถอะว่าคือถ้าคุณใช้โอกาสตรงนั้นให้เต็มที่แล้วก็เรียนรู้ในเรื่องนี้ครับเรื่องของ open mindedness เรื่องของการรู้จักตัวเองแล้วก็ไม่ยึดอยู่กับมันเรียนรู้สิ่งใหม่ๆเนี่ยมันการันตีไม่ได้แต่มันการันตีได้ก็คือคุณจะเติบโตแล้วมันจะนำไปสู่อะไรใหม่ๆแน่
Talking about social issues right now is like a very tricky subject because there's a lot of, cancel culture. So I think a lot of people feel pressured to say things that they might not feel just to appease the majority. That being said, I fully support LGBTQ. That's the thing is like, I feel like I fully support LGBTQ rights and I'm an advocate, things like same-sex marriage, especially in Thailand, like สมรสเท่าเทียม It's like, I don't know, like I said before, if it doesn't hurt anybody, why do people even care about it? That's really how I feel about like so many things. These people out there saying that are against it, it doesn't make sense to me. Like you want to tell people no, why? Do you know what I mean? Like there's no argument against it. So why not just let people have what they want? Do you know what I mean? Like for example, if a totally random issue, but like let's just say you talk about gun rights, for example. You can make an argument for both sides, but I feel like LGBTQ plus rights, there's only really one argument. It's just people, straight people, I feel like, that are saying no. And it's like, if you're not even a part of the community, why you want to choose stuff for other people? I don't know. It's weird to take away people's like freedom. It's just so weird. Like, I mean, not that it matters, but like I'm straight, but obviously I've had the opportunity to explore and be a part of the LGBTQ community through my work, and also working in the entertainment industry, especially in Thailand. You meet all sorts of people. Straight, bi, trans people, and it's like you work with these people, you're friends with these people. Why would you want to deny them? It's just weird. It doesn't really make any sense to me, like the argument against. But that being said, I kind of feel like, this pressure, like I was talking about before with the cancel, it's like someone asked me, do you support? I feel like it's like a test, and I don't like that kind of like being tested, being called out kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I do support it, obviously, but right. I just don't... like that
it's like the attitude of the crowd that expects something from you, and no matter what you say, you can have people like vote for you or against you.
Yeah,
like all
exactly,
the time.
Exactly.
Right?
But I sometimes, but this particular case I'm talking about was totally fine. But I feel like in some cases, some people tend to get a bit aggressive. I've had some really, really nice people. Like, for example, I was asked about abortion rights, which I also support. But like, the thing is, I was just talking about it in regards to women's abortion rights. And I actually had a fan point out to me that it's not just women, but also trans men as well. But they were so cool. Like they weren't being aggressive. They weren't trying to call me out and be like, how dare you not mention this? How can you be so ignorant? They were just like, hey, really cool what you said about abortion rights. Just want to let you know that it's not just women, it's also trans men as well that it affects. So, and I was like, and then I messaged them back and I was like, hey, like, thank you for like educating me and being really cool about it, because that's the way to like build bridges, is to educate as opposed to like trying to cause
attack
conflict.
each other. Yeah.
Because people might agree with you, or if you think something is amazing, people can agree with you. I tend to be very neutral. Oh, no. I'm neutral to good. If I have something nice to say, I'll say it. If I don't like something, I just don't say it because I don't feel like it's worth mentioning. But if someone asks me, what did you think of this? And I didn't like it, I'll say, I didn't really like it. But it's just my opinion. I'll say, but I'll never tell them, don't watch this movie. It's a waste of money. Like, go and watch it and you can make up your own mind kind of thing. One other important thing that I find, especially when drawing the line of what to say and what not to say, is I do try to think about the fans' feelings as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, whether it's something that they would not like to hear, then obviously I won't say it.
Like, sometimes, like, even for a partner, like, he can't always empathize it with me because, and no one, I really want to say this out for everyone out there as well, that no one can expect your significant others to always empathize with you, because it's not their job. Not everyone can empathize with things like depressions or clinical depressions or you know, the clinical or mental issues. Like, so for him, like, I'm so blessed that he understands that he cannot empathize, and he does the best for someone who cannot empathize or understand to that level to deal with it. And he understands that I would need to seek the experts. Like, I would need to seek like some help, some expertise, some therapist. And for someone who doesn't have direct experience on it, like, I think I'm very blessed that he have all those understanding, and I think it's very, very important to have that. So thank you, I guess.
Out of everything, I think trust is just the underlying thing, you know, like in terms of a relationship. It's just, I guess it's like a little bit like, you know, it comes in with like honesty and all these other things. Just trust is key. If you don't have trust, then what do you have, I guess? If you can't trust, if you can't trust your partner, if I can't trust Peach, then like your mind's going to be all over the place, and you know, it's just not feasible to have, like, to continue a relationship or whatever.
It's just exactly what he said, because like for me as well, like, trust is the most important element, because you can't build any other things if you don't have trust, really, because like, and especially for like a married couple or like ours, like, I feel like trust is really important. Like, I trust him to be independent. He trusts me to have my independence. Like, you know, I trust him to have some privacy, my privacy, like, you know, all these things, like, it's all like, for me, it's all building upon trust. So yeah, that's like, and I think what makes me think that us together is like good. Why is it so hard to say? Yeah, I mean, what makes us so good as a couple, for me, in my opinion, is that because we have trust for each other. Like, I really trust him, and he trusts me.
สำหรับใครที่พลาดงาน The Standard Economic Forum 2022 Age of Tomorrow เศรษฐกิจไทยบนปากเหวเราเปิดจำหน่ายให้รับชมย้อนหลังแล้วครับ1วัน 1,500 บาท 3 วันราคา 3,900 บาทรับชมทางออนไลน์ตลอด 3 เดือนตั้งแต่วันนี้ถึง 1 มีนาคม 2566 พร้อมสรุปบทเรียนทุกเซสชั่นเนื้อหาเข้มข้นเจาะลึกมองเห็นอนาคตก่อนใครพร้อมข้อคิดในการรับมือกับความไม่แน่นอนสำหรับผู้นำยุคใหม่ตัวจริงที่ทำให้คุณไม่ตกเหว
ผมว่าปีหน้าเป็นจุดเปลี่ยนประเทศไทย
คนเนี่ยเกิน 40% บอกว่าตัวเองเนี่ยเบิร์นเอาท์ละ
แต่ผมเชื่อว่ามันกำลังสะท้อนว่าเราพาตัวเราเองหนีออกจากเวทีโลก
เพื่ออนาคตเนี่ยเมืองจะแข่งกันดึงคนเก่งแข่งกันสร้างคนเก่งประเทศไทยสร้างได้ไหมประเทศไทยดึงคนเก่งได้ไหมสุดท้ายอยู่ไม่ได้หรอก
โอกาสสุดท้ายที่ผมไม่อยากให้คุณพลาดกับงาน The Standard Economic Forum 2022 Age of Tomorrow เศรษฐกิจไทยบนปากเหว